Remember what it was like to be a kid? To explore and play. To roam free all day. In Jamestown, North Carolina, we get out of the grind and escape into the moment. People feel good here. Let loose here. Eat well here. Feel swell here. We go for a ride or an afternoon stroll. We cheer each other on. And go for the goal. Here, a treasured history meets the energy of a town on the rise. In a place with true heart and soul, and where we have our own special beat. Jamestown, North Carolina, where history and possibility meet.
I'd like to call this meeting to order. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Yes, Councilmember Glanville.
Here.
Councilmember Rayburn.
Here.
Mayor Montgomery.
Here.
Councilmember Burgess.
Here.
Councilmember Wolf.
Here.
A quorum is present.
Thank you. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Eli Arnold, would you lead us, please? Please bow your heads for a moment of silence. Thank you. Do I have any changes to the agenda at this time? Have a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion to approve the agenda?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? And do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as stated?
Motion to approve the consent agenda?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. At this time, I'd like to read a statement on behalf of the council. We have fielded several questions about town staffing levels, both during public council meetings and in individual meetings with citizens at Town Hall. The town currently has 36 full-time employees working, with 40 positions funded in this year's budget. For comparison, we had 34 full-time employees working last year on the payroll as of July 2024. Staffing levels may change over time as employees retire or change jobs, or as vacant positions are filled. Job descriptions for our 4 open positions, an equipment operator, a groundskeeper, a park maintenance technician, and a fleet mechanic, are available on our website for anyone who would like to apply. If anyone has any further questions, our council, our staff are ready to assist you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor, and I would respectfully like to comment on Mr. Hensley's letter to the editor titled Jamestown City Council Ignores Request from Resident and dated September 24th, 2025. I want to first start off by quoting a portion of Mr. Hensley's remarks. If this is indeed their position to ignore this concern, I will take the position that they have forfeited any public trust typically afforded to public servants. Their willingness to be forthright and transparent about this issue is troubling, to say the least. And I am going to stop there. Now, though the comments address this council collectively, I want all residents of Jamestown to know that I take these comments very seriously. Therefore, I will not ignore or even act if this letter to the editor does not exist. After the September council meeting, I did contact my colleagues and necessary staff expressing the need to address this ongoing concern to dispel the misinformation. In fact, Council Member Martha Wolf moved forward expeditiously by presenting a recommendation. Her recommendation was also a suggestion that she put forthright in August. Subsequently, Councilmember Glanville also acknowledged and agreed with this recommendation. The recommendation was given the number of employees that worked last fiscal year and the fiscal year in which you, Mayor, have just read. By acknowledging Mr. Hensley's letter to the editor, my hope is that he and all residents will feel confident that their voices are being heard, their concerns are not being ignored, and that our residents should come first, as the town charter states. Thank you.
Thank you, Pam. Any other comments at this time? Katie, do we have anyone signed up for public comment period?
Susan Dickinson.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Susan Dickinson, 608 Havershire Drive. And I have a comment about comments, but not that one. So. When I woke up this morning, the first thing I read was a Rhino Times article that somebody sent me about tomorrow's public hearing for Project Titan, code name for a project for which Guilford County and Burlington want to give $40 million in cash and incentives. The public hearing will be immediately followed by a major economic development announcement event. In the article, Scott Yost wrote, "Placing the two public hearings just hours before the announcement demonstrates how public hearings no longer serve the purpose they were meant to serve, to allow citizens to provide input on incentive packages which give away taxpayer money to prosperous companies. But it clearly doesn't matter what anyone says at these hearings because this is already a done deal. In fact, when public hearings are held well in advance of an economic development announcement, those are almost always done deals at that point," close quotes. Yost then dropped in the requisite quotes about the number of jobs Project Titan will create and that North Carolina's top state for business and all that. What wasn't said is that while the state continues to give these millions of dollars to prosperous incoming corporations, residents continue to see rising tax bills, water and sewer rate hikes, increased erosion and stormwater runoff, worsening water and air quality, and fewer services from our government agencies, officials, and employees. Since entering the mayoral race back in July, I've listened to a lot of citizens share their concerns and frustrations about these very issues and more, and I've learned a lot. I learned that I know less than I thought I did about a lot of things, and maybe a little bit more than most about a few things. I found that there really is such a thing as a nonpartisan race, that concerned citizens are able to put on political party blinders and focus on the issues that directly impact their daily lives and the lives of their future generations. I learned that Jamestown is small enough for every resident to provide input that can make a difference and solutions that can bring actionable results. I learned that there are a lot of really intelligent, experienced, principled people living here, including this year's slate of candidates, all of them. And because of that, I encourage everyone to get out and vote, because no matter the outcome of this year's race, I really feel that Jamestown citizens will be the ultimate winners. And by the way, public comments, the Guilford County property tax schedule, the new one is now online, and public comments are being accepted through November 16th. I know a lot of people care about rising taxes, and that's a great place to start providing your thoughts. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Robert Frederick.
Robert Frederick, 500 Wynwood Drive. I'm here with a comment from Mr. Hensley, who did not know, and because it was not on the agenda, that this was going to be something that council addressed today. I'll read that comment then that he wrote, it's short, and then have a few thoughts of my own. Mr. Hensley writes, I greet the council again this evening with a brief comment. I am still very disappointed in not having my concern publicly addressed regarding the controversy about the staffing level of 11 positions reflected in this year's staffing chart versus the public comments made by the mayor and town manager that there were not 10 positions allocated in this year's budget. This issue has yet to be clearly explained to me or the citizens of Jamestown. Consequently, this leaves me with no other choice but to continue my public request for an answer. If you want this matter to end, then publicly address my concern. What I heard tonight was not the addressing of Mr. Hensley's full concern. The staffing chart that he and I both received from the town manager did include 11 new positions. So there might be 40 on the books in terms of what is being staffed. There might be 36 currently. There might have been 30 last year. It's still quite an increase, but the staffing level chart says 11 new positions. It's really hard to square what he and I had at this meeting in July make sense of from then with what we're hearing now. It would be great if Jamestown not only kept all those documents publicly available on its website, but regularly updated them so that we're not in this position of asking month after month after month for the information that we citizens deserve. We're paying the bills, after all, through our taxes. So I thank council for spending a little time on this issue. I hope that the rest will be resolved and some understanding will happen in terms of what the staffing chart should say, as opposed to what it does say, or at least the one that we received. And I'm sorry that it has taken from July, when we first met, back, well, gosh, I first spoke about it in May, until Mr. Hensley's letter to the editor had to call it out publicly in the Jamestown News before it finally started to get attention from council. So thank you for your time, and I look forward to hearing about that staffing chart next time. Thanks.
Nobody else signed up.
Thank you. Chief Carson, would you meet me at the podium? Whereas the town of Jamestown recognizes that fire is a serious public safety concern, both locally and nationally, and homes are locations where people are at a greatest risk from fire. And whereas the 2025 Fire Prevention Month theme, Charge into Fire Safety, works to better educate the public on how to buy, charge, and dispose of lithium-ion batteries safely. And whereas the Pinecrest Sedgwick Fire Department provides dedicated services to protect lives, property, and the environment through fire prevention, education, and emergency response in our community. And whereas during Fire Prevention Month, all residents of Jamestown are encouraged to take steps to make their homes and families safer by checking smoke alarms, planning and practicing fire escape routes, and staying informed about fire safety. And whereas the town is proud to recognize the vital contributions of Pinecrest Sedgwick Fire Department and all firefighters who serve selflessly to protect our residents every day. Now therefore, I, Larry Montgomery, Mayor of the town of Jamestown, on behalf of the council and the residents of Jamestown, do hereby proclaim October 2025 as Fire Prevention Month in the town of Jamestown. And thank you all. Would representatives from the library please rejoin Rebecca Rayburn at the podium?
Thank you all for being here. There are a few more whereases, so bear with us, but this is for a great cause. Whereas Friends of Library groups across the United States are dedicated to the support of libraries as institutions essential to democracy and lifelong learning, and whereas Friends of North Carolina libraries support local Friends groups by helping them integrate the library thoroughly with the life and work of the community they serve. Whereas Friends groups advocate for funding that will provide libraries with the necessary print and electronic materials, expert assistance in research, technology equipment, and services for all ages, from the very young to the senior citizens. And whereas Friends of the Jamestown Public Library promote the joys and benefits of literacy, learning, and economic well-being for community members of all ages by investing time and effort in raising supplementary funds to enhance library resources and programming. And whereas Friends of the Jamestown Public Library also volunteer to help provide services and materials to their patrons. And whereas the gifts of time and commitment by the Friends of the Jamestown Public Library set a positive example of civic engagement that benefits both volunteers and their community. Now, therefore, I, Councilmember Rebecca Mann Rayborn, on behalf of the Mayor and Town Council, do hereby proclaim October 19th through 25th, 2025 as Friends of Libraries Week in the town of Jamestown, and encourage all citizens to join me in this worthy observance. Thank you. I'll give you the rules. Thank you all for everything you do. Oh, yes.
I'm Jean Regan with Friends of the Library. I brought along a couple of sidekicks, Barbara Trimble and Jenny Naples. If you haven't been in our library, all I can say is shame on you. Because our library is a jewel. The building is over 100 years old from where it began as a high school. And because of our central location, we get people from Jamestown, Greensboro, High Point. Anyone who lives in Guilford County can get a card. But we are not part of Greensboro Library System nor High Point Library System. Therefore, we need to do things to help raise money for our library. But I can tell you that we have a full agenda of the services that we offer, and we add more all the time. We have wonderful things for children, especially our summer reading program. We have 3 book clubs, 2 daytime and 1 evening. And we have movies that Rebecca's a regular attendee. That's Thursday night, correct?
That's Thursday night, but wait, it's Saturday morning.
Saturday morning.
They're going to be showing Great Pumpkin.
That's right. This Saturday is going to be a Halloween celebration for trick or treat for kids to come in. And at the back, I left some brochures. You can join Friends of the Library for $10 a year. Now, I know everyone in here could come up with $10, whether you've come to the library or not. It is a wonderful cause to support, and we so much appreciate how much the town helps us out. And I do invite you all to look around if you haven't been in there. People who come from other libraries all the time, like High Point or Greensboro, they don't want to go back because you don't get the feeling in those libraries that you get in ours. Thanks again.
Matthew, do you have a manager's report for us?
Well, good evening, Mayor and Council. Our staff is fantastic, and I want to take a moment to recognize one of them. On October the 10th, Faith, our finance director, she's going to kill me, completed the Leading for Results course at the UNC School of Government in Chapel Hill. It's the Civic Fellows program, and that's generously covered. The tuition is covered by the Civic Federal Credit Union. Fellows have been selected through a competitive process, and there were more than 150 applicants from across the state for the 2025 Fellows program. And selection for the program is based on identification of emerging leaders in local government and the quality of the applicants. Program focuses on organizational leadership. Participants were introduced to models of leadership as well as management and leadership tools and strategies. Fellows had the opportunity to gain insight into their individual leadership strengths and styles, practice leadership behaviors, and work with individual coaches on ways to increase effectiveness within the organization. Each of the fellows is committed to developing leadership, knowledge, and skills to help the organization and their community. So I'd ask you just, after the meeting, to please congratulate Faith on being selected as a Civic Fellow and completing that program. Loose leaf collection has begun. It began on October the 21st and will run until February the 20th continually. And those loose leaves, we ask that if you would, to keep them away from vehicles or trash cans and keep sticks and the other types of rocks and debris out of it because it can damage our equipment.
I heard him going through this morning.
Yep, they were out there today.
Yeah.
The town has been anxiously awaiting some authorization of right-of-way encroachment agreements from NCDOT, and we have received notification that a couple of those key agreements are now being in process of being reviewed, and actually a couple of them have been approved. But also, this will allow our projects to move forward, including the Main Street water line replacement project. That one had been moved out just a little bit because of the parade. We don't want to interrupt the parade. But also the installation of a radar speed sign. That's been something that we've talked about here at council for a couple of months. We're going to install those radar speed signs along Guilford Road to help with pedestrian and traffic safety. Speaking of other projects, fences have now been installed on the sidewalk projects that are along Ragsdale Road. Those are considered complete now. And several small stormwater projects are currently underway. We have had some meetings with residents, and we have a couple of others scheduled that have been, these are citizens that have been impacted, and we identified some initial projects to complete. And so they've had their paperwork delivered to them. They're in the process of getting that executed. Our larger projects, the one that's in Forest East, the Golden Leaf Foundation has given us a grant for, is nearing plan completion. So our staff are reviewing and working with the designers to make sure the impacted property owners have been contacted so that we can acquire the necessary access to get onto the project property to move the project forward. The inclusive playground, our natural play area and basketball courts were opened last month, and Scott has reported that we have seen very heavy use. And I know I've seen that and heard that from others as well in the community, and that it's really been well received. Permits are now being acquired to complete the final portions of the project, including the new dog parks, shelters, accessible bathrooms, and the volleyball court. So Scott wanted the season to sort of run out and the folks to have a chance to use that while it's still a little bit warmer outside. And we will be shutting everything down in the winter to get those projects completed on the bathroom side. But the playground and stuff will still remain open if you want to brave the cold.
Yeah.
Music in the Park concluded on October 3rd with 80s Nation, and that event brought a record crowd, or a near record crowd, an estimated 5,300 persons in attendance. I want to thank our Parks and Recreation staff for their hard work on the event. We also want to thank the attendees for being patient with us, as we were not able to open the council chambers for restrooms because of early voting during the primary. Board of Elections does not permit anyone to access the room once early voting has begun. And so just want to thank everybody for being patient with us on that. We've already started beginning on next year's events. We're planning on the festivities for next year. Speaking of Board of Elections, the municipal general election will be held on November the 4th. And Guilford County Board of Elections handles all of the elections-related issues. If people have questions, they can contact Board of Elections or visit their website. Early voting will be held here in the council chambers beginning on October the 23rd and running through November the 1st. And once again, that's Thursday, beginning on Thursday. Once again, Election Day is November the 4th, and they'll be here for Election Day for your precinct. This fills 2 seats on council and the mayor's seat. There are a couple of key dates that are listed. I did want to highlight, I did not put this in there, but we will be closed, town offices will be closed November the 11th for Veterans Day. There will be some changes to garbage and recycling collection. Instead of Tuesday, November the 11th, we're going to shift it forward one day. So Tuesday's trash will be picked up on Wednesday, and Wednesday's trash will be picked up on Thursday, the 12th and the 13th. So that just shifts one day. You can check our social media sites for information on that, or you can sign up for alerts. We can get email or text alerts from the town website. We are going to be closed on November the 27th and 28th for Thanksgiving holiday, but there will not be any impact to garbage collection that week because that event happens Thursday and Friday. That's all I have for you unless you have specific questions.
Any questions?
Oh, will the veterans be doing the flag raising on November
Yes.
the 11th?
On November
At
11th,
o'clock,
at 11
11 and
o'clock.
11.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Council, do we have any reports from committees?
I was going to mention that we may see some young folks in the crowd. I don't know why all of them are here, but I do know some are here because the Ragsdale High School AP Government course has required them to attend some meetings. So they are forced to sit through this, but they get extra credit if they get a picture with us or one of us. So before we go into closed session, we may want to, prepare ourselves for our photo ops here. So, so welcome to them. And also, I just wanted to let you know, put in my own little plug since I got roped into being the JMS, Jamestown Middle School Music Booster President. We are doing a fundraiser for the band, orchestra, and chorus this Saturday from 11 to 1. They're doing a concert. It's open to the community, and it's free, but there will be food for purchase and some gift baskets raffled off. We've had some of our businesses around town donate some stuff. So we'll also have a 50-50 raffle. So it'll be fun.
And that'll be at Jamestown Middle
Oh,
School?
yes, that's at Jamestown Middle School, yes, thank you, in the cafeteria from 11 to 1. And then you can come down here and enjoy all the Halloween fall festivities down here.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Perfect,
Did you have any?
I did not.
committees to report? Pam?
Yes, the planning board met on October the 13th. Again, thanks to Denise Johnson for her service as planning board chair. At that meeting, Hope Ng was elected to chair. John Capes was elected to vice chair, so thank you, Hope and John, again for your service. Gordon Holton was introduced as the new planning technician. Welcome, Gordon. The board will meet again on November the 10th and again on November the 12th regarding a variance application. In addition, outside of the planning board, I attended on October the 15th the GTCC groundbreaking ceremony for the new aviation center at the Donald W. campus. It was just an amazing opportunity. The center will accommodate approximately 700 students. This center not only brings significant workforce to the Triad, but to all of North Carolina. So anyone interested in a career in aviation, have at it. Go contact GTCC. And lastly, I'd like to thank Elizabeth Greason. I reached out to her because I noticed that there was some trash outside of, actually Guilford College Road where you enter the Jamestown, welcome to Jamestown, Guilford Road. There was additional trash there, and I reached out to Elizabeth, and she was really diligent and quick in getting staff to get out there and clean it up, and I happened to see them do that, and so I'm grateful for that. It looks much better.
Thank you.
Well, I did just want to report the TAC meeting. This was at the August meeting because I was under the weather in September. Again, I apologize. But our bike and ped plan that is from Guilford College Road to East Fork Road, which is part of our plan, it was approved on the list that goes to DOT in August. However, there was an issue with the online submittal, so they did reissue it. So I have a new project number I guess I should send to Jose or you so you can keep track of how that goes through the system. But of course, again, this is the first cog in the wheel to get funding. So at least we're on the list that has been approved by TAC. And then Maybe one day before we're all gone, it will be approved, but I don't know. And then there's no October meeting for PART or TAC.
Thank you. Eli Arnold, would you give us the high school report from Ragsdale?
Good evening. Tomorrow, October 22nd, the sophomores are taking the pre-ACT and U Science test. All other grades are having a remote learning day. There is also a senior parent night tomorrow from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. in the cafeteria to discuss the senior year timeline. This week is free college application week for many colleges are visiting Ragsdale, like ECU, WCU, and some other colleges. Last week, Ragsdale celebrated Spirit Week to celebrate homecoming. The queen was Ashera Johnson, and the king was Lucky Taylor. The students had a lot of fun at the dance on Saturday night. It was a good week to celebrate. We had a lot of wins this past week. The girls' flag football team beat both Northwest and Northern High School in their first game of the season. The football team won their first win of the season against Smith with a score of 20-6. Our girls' volleyball team beat Western Guilford in the first round of the state playoffs. This week, the football team is playing at Western Guilford. Today, the girls' volleyball team is participating in the second round of the state playoffs against Kings Mountain. The soccer team is playing at Page, and the flag football team is playing against Southwest tonight. The cross-country team is having regionals this Saturday. Also this Saturday is trunk or treat at 1 p.m. at Ragsdale in the parking lot in front of the gym. And the Southwest football game has been moved from October 31st to the 30th. And that's it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much for
Eli.
being here, Eli. Deputy Rogers. Or a replacement for Deputy Rogers from the back corner will be accepted.
That's what you get for speaking up.
How you guys doing?
Thank you for being here.
Yes, ma'am. Let's see. So in September 2025, there's been 15 reports, 4 theft of property, 3 at Publix, all has been solved. 1's at Sheets. There's been 3 school incidents, so all 3 fights at Ragsdale. We have had 1 trespass, 1 domestic, and 4 various calls for service. In total, there's been 77 totals called for service for September. And there's been 115 self-initiated calls and 5 citations issued, Jamestown.
Gotcha.
That's all I have for you guys.
Did you say those were 3 fights at Ragsdale?
Yes, ma'am.
3 separate incidents?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh. Is there a school resource officer there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Any other questions? Thank you so much for joining us. Okay. Moving to new business, Brandon, would you update us on the code enforcement?
Mayor, council, it is always a pleasure to come to Jamestown and always a pleasure to speak with you all. For those of you that don't know, my name is Brandon Emery. I'm the president of Alliance Code Enforcement. We are your code enforcement contractor here in town. Before I get started, I want to introduce Casey Martin. He is my assigned inspector here, so he handles kind of the day-to-day. You're good. You're good. He kind of handles the day-to-day of everything. But one of the things that we really try to do in all the towns that we're in, but especially here in Jamestown, is trying to establish a really good rapport with the community. We find a lot of abatements are able to be made without having to go through this long process of notice after notice after notice. If we're able to get somebody hit the property, have a conversation with them, talk to them, explain to them exactly what the issues are. One of the things that we've been doing recently has been doing the door hangers. So that helps really well if we stop by and you're not home, because obviously we work during the same schedule that most people work, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. And so if they're not there, they're able to contact us and we're able to really get that ball rolling in that. That is shown in great ability with the fact that Casey in the last month has abated, I believe it was 24 cases in the last month. We've opened an additional 15. cases. In looking at that, we had 1 animal complaint, 15 zoning violations, 8 overgrown lots, 6 junk or nuisance vehicle issues, 14 open storage, and 9 minimum housing cases. So that's what we've dealt with in the last month. In addition to that, we've worked in Jamestown for a while. We had a little hiatus and then we came back. Totality, since we've been working for Jamestown, we've opened a total of 517 cases and we've abated 485. So what that means is out of all the cases that we've done, we've got a 94% abatement rate. And all of that is really to my staff of the ability that they have to communicate and to talk and to try to present it in a way that it's not us versus them. It's the community coming together to really be able to protect that quality and improve that quality of life for the residents. One of the other things that we really like to do is make ourselves available. And one of the things that we do on our website, we've got a way to file e-complaints. And I think in talking with your town manager, they've got a link, or they're putting a link on the website to where citizens can come to it and they can go click that link and directly send us any type of violations that they may have. Once we receive it, the only required information that I have on it is I'm required for you to tell me the town so we know which town we're talking about, the property address so we know where it's at, and give me a kind of a summary of what the violations are. I do not require you to put your name in there, your contact information in there, so if you want to do it anonymously, you certainly can. Just don't expect us to be able to reach back out to you and follow up, because we don't have any of that information. But if they do provide it, we still keep all of that confidential, and we can follow up with them. So if you're ever talking to any of the citizens and they have a question of how to do it, we accept complaints either way, whether it's they come to town hall, they contact us directly, whatever the case may be. But if you can direct them to the town's website, to that link, they can file it on their phone, they can file it at home on their computer, and it comes immediately to us, and we jump on it just as quickly as we can. In closing, one of the other major things that we do is the constant fight against signs here in town. So Casey's got a really good method. He comes in, he's usually working on Tuesdays and Thursdays. The first thing he does when he comes through is he comes through, travels throughout the whole town looking for any signs that aren't supposed to be there, pulls them, does his work that he's supposed to do for the day, and before he leaves for the day, he travels around one more time, searching for any signs that may have been put up that aren't supposed to be out there. In the last month, we collected about 32 signs. We've had some times where we've collected over 80 signs before. You'll get some new business somewhere in Greensboro. The biggest one I think we had was that one that was like a smash where you like broke plates and you broke all sorts of stuff. They came in and just hammered the town. So we pulled a lot that day, but we really try our best to have the best relationship that we possibly can. Nobody likes seeing code enforcement show up to the door, so we try to be as nice and professional as we can. That concludes my presentation. If you all have any questions or comments, I would love to address those now.
Well, you're talking about picking up the signs. We used to put the signs here at Town Hall for a few days or a week or whatever, so people could pick them up?
Yes, ma'am.
Or do you just take them?
Yeah, so
They do cost money.
They do, and we still hold those signs temporarily. We also, if there's some type of telephone number attached to that, most of the time there is, Casey's really good about reaching out to them.
Okay.
For 2 reasons. One, they paid money for it, so if you can get it back, great. 2, also to educate, to let them know, hey, listen, these signs are going to continuously get pulled up for this, and so we can try to help cut that total signage down. Anything else?
Any other questions?
As always, thank you so much.
Well,
Thank you.
so I just because part of you coming was to educate the public. I think we had some people say they didn't know how to, make a complaint.
Yes, ma'am.
So we could call the town hall, I guess,
Yes.
and ask for the planning director. He can take the complaint and get it to you.
Mm-hmm.
Or there's a link on the website, the town website, directly to you.
Correct.
And is there a phone number there as well?
There are phone numbers on our website to be able to contact us, and then the inspectors directly, myself directly. All of our information, our cards are here for people to be able to have and pull. The easiest way, just because of the way it comes in, is that email. When it sends in, and the reason why I like the email so much is because it documents it, right? It shows that the complaint was done. Once it's there, you're not going to unsend it and not be able to see it. But as long as they relay it to someone, I mean, even if it's not even the planning director, if they talk to one of the ladies up front, that's going to get to us. The town is extremely good about receiving that information and then immediately letting us know. Our normal procedure, Casey comes in, checks in with Jose regularly on the cases to keep him up to date so that he can in turn keep Matthew up to date and in turn keep you all up to date. If there's ever any question, just email, call, stop in, whatever they need to do. They can give my number out to absolutely anyone to give me a call and we can chat personally. We want to make sure that they do feel heard because we do listen to it and we try our best to inspect it just as quickly as we can.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Take care. Thanks, man.
Faith, would you fill in for Scott?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm going to present the quarterly golf reports. These numbers are for July 1st of 2025 through September 30th of 2025. The Jamestown Park Golf Course reported a 23% increase compared to the same quarter in 2024. The strong year-over-year growth highlights the continued popularity of the course, improved operational strategies, and favorable playing conditions throughout most of the quarter. Some key performance highlights would be the cart and range revenue grew by 37% over the previous year. Food and beverage revenue increased by 32%. Golf sales had a 35% improvement, and green fee revenue rose 10%. And we also had an 8% increase in rounds played. Additionally, the course successfully hosted 5 outings, contributing to both revenue and community engagement. They did not have a lot of weather disruptions this past quarter, with only 2 days impacted by poor conditions. And let's see. Overall, this quarter was very good for the golf course. I think profit overall was around
44,000.
I'm sorry, I don't have my reading glasses. 44,000. 683.68. Thank you very much. My reading glasses in here, so I'm
And
struggling a bit.
that is a great report.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
awesome. Yeah, congratulations to all, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. And Scott and his crew, Marcy and Brad, and Justin May and Justin King, the whole maintenance crew, and the whole staff at the shop are doing a really good job. And so we're really pleased with these numbers.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
Does anyone have any questions?
Thank you, Faith.
Thank you.
Do we have anyone signed up for public comment?
Nobody signed up.
Any other business, council?
Are we having coffee with the council?
Yes.
On Thursday, yes.
Thursday, 4 to 6:30?
4:30 to, is it 4:30 to 6 or 4 to 6:30? What?
Wait, sorry.
What time is it?
Who's on first?
4 to 6:30.
4 to 6:30.
At the shelter by the new playground, so
Right.
come out, talk to Sarah and myself, have any questions or ideas, anything like that, please feel free to bring them, and especially if you have not seen all the kids playing on this playground, it's amazing. It is, I mean, I have an elementary schooler, so I'm there a lot, and kids are all playing together, it's packed, but they are, you know, they get themselves in order, so no one's fighting to get to anything. It's just really great to see.
Come see us. And I also want to tell a story. Well, I have a minute here. And that is, I know we talk a lot about, you know, we want the small town feel here in Jamestown, and a lot of that has to do with aesthetics we talk a lot about. But it really, you know, as we all know in this room, it really comes down to the people. And I have a story that really reflects the wonderfulness of our town and what comes with a small town. So my son turned 16 on October 1st and had his driver's license exam on October 2nd. Well, having never been through this process before, I didn't realize he was supposed to have his insurance already set up before he could take the driver's test. So his driver's test was at 8:15 in the morning. I called everyone on this council trying to get some help, even poor Pam, who doesn't even wake up till 10 o'clock. But I called everyone I mean, I was sitting in the parking lot just thinking, this is awful, my son is going to kill me, and he has every right, like, I have really let him down here. And I use an insurance agent that is local here to Jamestown, was able to get in touch with a past council member who I have a very, very casual, acquaintanceship with, not good friends. Immediately, everyone responded. And we were able to get that insurance faxed over to the DMV, and he took his test, and he passed, so everyone also watch out on the roads now. But it just really spoke to me and really moved me of when you live in a small town and deal with the businesses in a small town, this is the level of service and neighbors that you get. And it just really, was such a small thing probably for everyone else, but it was a big thing for me, so.
Oh, yeah, that is
Yeah.
a big deal for him, yeah.
Yeah, and at 8:15 in the morning, which is that, I know, and look, any of you who know Pam knows that she wakes up, and I'm sitting there looking at my phone, like, do I do it? Do I do it? Do I call her? I was that desperate, though.
Thank you for sharing that.
And I just wanted to thank Paul for staying on the contractor and getting that project completed on Ragsdale Road, and the fencing looks really good, and those sad little orange cones that were falling down are gone, so it looks really good. Thank you.
And I'd like to thank all of our council candidates for showing up this evening and being present in the audience. Appreciate you being here. Any other business?
I would make a motion to go into closed session per General Statute 143-318 to discuss a personnel matter and attorney-client privilege on 545A Oakdale Road.
And 301 Lee Street.
On 301 Lee Street.
Got a second? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? And this.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you.